Alright guys, BLM here back with more The Witness, and continue on. Again, like I might as well just watch some other stuff while doing this. Let's actually go and Lasers has a new video. Let's watch his video. Figure out where I need to go.
5 seconds maybe until you sit back and realise that Saints Row
where am I going?
seems to have kind of gone to shit.
Probably
it's
here.
No secret that Saints Row's had a bit of an identity crisis ever since.
Is this the Quarry?
I mean, when you look at Saints Row 1 and Saints Row 4,
oh, we did this one already.
Very different games, but I feel that Saints Row kept a particular heart to it, even as far as Saints Row 4. Now don't get me wrong, Saints Row 2 is of course my favourite because it's the best. But I always felt that 3 and 4 did keep a particular heart of the franchise. That edgy side to it was still there. The jokes, the humour was still right, and the characters.
Let's see, which one is this? So we've done the monastery, the keep.
That being said, though,
we have the shady trees, the marsh, the quarry, the jungle, and the bunker and the treehouse. Those are the ones we have left. I would assume this is the quarry, right? I guess we'll check real quick. It is. Okay.
So engaging purely because it was a franchise based all around gang warfare. You got to be part of that power fantasy. You got to be one of the people on the ground as part of the gang. In the first game, you work your way up through those ranks. You get to know those different lieutenants. You work with each other. You take over the district. You earn money. You get new clothes, new cars, new apartments, and eventually you become the right-hand man to Julius at the top. Saints Row 2, you take on the role of the boss. You're recruiting new people. You're taking over this entire city. It's incredibly fun. These guys that you're playing with, all the characters, they're fucked, but they're also lovable as well. You wouldn't want to be friends with them in real life, but you absolutely adore them in the game because they're fucking hilarious. I could not be in the same room as Johnny Gap, but in the game, he's fucking brilliant. I love every single scene that he's in. Saints Row was about that power fantasy, about escapism, about taking gang culture and gang warfare and making a game about it. Making that a little bit more over the top, picking out some of the stereotypes maybe, but an incredible experience nonetheless. It seems with this new entry, what they've done is they've reskinned Watch Dogs 2. It's a small group of friends that aren't really a gang at all, and they're doing this for some reason. We don't know. It feels almost like when Mafia 3 came out, and it's not similar in tone, but when Mafia 3 it's the third Mafia game, but you're not playing as the Mafia though. You're playing as a guy that's taking down the Mafia, and like, okay, I guess that can be done. Yeah, perfectly bad, but it's a bit of an odd one to do. Saints Row is about gang warfare, gang culture, about being immersed in that, and when you make a game that's about not that at all, but just a group of, I hate the word, but woke millennials fighting against a bunch of just awfully designed gangs, you're left with what this game is, which is a confused mess to me. And when I say it's very similar to Watch Dogs 2, it's the look of the game, the tone of the game, the focus of the game, it all feels very Watch Dogs 2 and very Ubisoft in the sense that they're broadening their audience to a point where they go to these. Saints Row was a pretty niche game. It was a very edgy game. A lot of the references, jokes, and things in there were on the edgy side.
Wait, so these dots mean that those wait, so okay, I think I get with it. So when this is here, that means we can avoid one of these. Doesn't mean we have to avoid one of these? That's the question I have.
Violence and things like that is something you could do in the
and this one's easy.
Saints Row was like, no, you could do these things, and that's the focus of the game. That's the fun of the game, is killing people, running people over, destroying shit. Like, that was a focus of the game, and that turned a lot of people off. It was quite edgy in that regard. In turning away from that edgy side, in turning away from that niche audience and that market to broaden your horizons, what you're doing is you're turning your back on them. You're deciding that this game needs to appeal to everyone, and in doing so, you're appealing to pretty much nobody. In terms of humor, Appliance Direct and Whirlpool. Appliance.
Wait, I'm getting a fucking Appliance Direct. That's mind blowing.
That's a big one. When a game is known for its edgy humor, and you try to then make it just very baseline, just completely plain humor that anyone can be like, oh, that was a joke. I've registered that that's a joke, but not really laugh at. You've sort of failed when you look at some of the things they've changed from this trailer, there were two shops in the game.
Do I just avoid one? Okay.
That were featured in this brand new trailer for Saints Row that in the original game were rim jobs. Now, Freckle Bitch is a parody of Wendy's, and rim jobs is a parody of, I mean,
can't I just do that?
You know, rim jobs, when it's a mechanic, but rim jobs like, as in like, you know, you get the joke, it's fun. However, the new one, they changed Freckle Bitch's FB's rim jobs is now Jim Robbs. Like, oh, I hate it so much. And this is what I mean, that they're going for a sort of humour where they're like, this pleases nobody at this point. Why is it called FB's if it's not Freckle Bitches? Like, that was funny. That was a funny name for a restaurant. Why can't you lay into that anymore? When you look at something like Grand Theft Auto, they've evolved and they've moved past, you know, what they used to do, which they did have an edgy base, Rockstar did, but they still lay into a lot of those things, a lot of the satire, a lot of the funny naming of restaurants, radios, things like that. You don't need to stray away from that to have mass appeal. Grand Theft Auto 5 is one of the biggest, it's the biggest game of all time. And they didn't. They laid into what they knew. Saints Row doesn't have to stray away. It doesn't have to become Ubisoft, but it seems to be what they're doing. Leaving behind a niche for mass appeal. And they do not have mass appeal. They've done the perfect thing here to showcase my point, which is that they're trying to appeal to everyone, and they have literally appealed to a niche audience. And they could have got way more people behind them if they just appealed to Saints Row fans when making a Saints Row game. Now, one of the things they keep bringing up is that these characters are relatable. You want to invite them into your living room. Hey, I don't want to invite the Saints into my living room. I don't want to invite the Saints into my living room. I want them to be Johnny Gat. I want them to be Pierce. I want them to be Sean D. I want them to be the boss from those games. Because those guys are fucking psychopaths. Those guys are fucking insane. And I absolutely love them for that in the context of Saints Row. I don't want the characters of Saints Row to be relatable. I don't want them to be someone that could be my next door neighbor. I don't want to be someone that I want to invite into my fucking living room. I want Johnny Gat. I want these crazy motherfuckers from Saints Row. And in trying to make them relatable, they're doing these things like, one of their motivations for starting the gang is to pay off their student loan, and that's fucking cringe. But also, why is that? That's imagine if in Saints Row 1, instead of joining the gang and you're working your way through the ranks, he just goes, oh man, I really want to pay off my student loan from my university course, so I'm gonna join the 3rd Street Saints. And also, why do you even want to pay off your student loan if you're going to become criminals that eventually take over the city? Well, just don't. You criminals. Just don't pay your loan. If you're going to kill people and rob people and run a criminal enterprise, you don't need to pay your student loan. You criminals. I don't understand. It's so silly. They've also taken some time to talk about their focus on diversity. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those, you know, oh, we hate the SJWs. I mean, I used to be. But this is a silly point, that they're continuously talking about the diversity in the cast, and how that's one of their core focuses. Saints Row was always diverse. I mean, what are we talking about? You have people of all races, and their high-up positions, their main characters. It was not dominated by white people, not even close, which people might say is an issue because it's gang culture and they're just saying that all of the bad people are the different races. Oh, who the cares? Oh, God, the point being, Saints Row was always diverse. It's not a new thing. You don't need to get up on your fucking high horse and be like, oh, we've worked very hard on the diversity, and then turn your back on the old games as if they were a product of their time. They were incredibly diverse games, so that's a stupid point. Now, I want to read you this quote from an article, because I've been reading a lot of little bits here about Saints Row. I mean, this is actually what got me to make this video, because I was just, pissed off. I was reading this, I was like, I'm pissed off. This is so dumb. So this is a quote from one of these articles. It says, the developers say that Saints Row's focus is, at least in the early game, going to focus on the material concerns of its young crew. These disaffected millennials, specifically millennials, turn to crime to, for instance, put food on their table, feel part of the community, and pay off their student loans. They said it again. Chief Creative Officer Jim Boone says that it's broadly this is the worst. This is if you want to not sell a game, this is what you call it. A contemporary millennial power fantasy. It's only later that the game focus switches to sort of empire building that you see in the previous games of the series. I cannot tell you a time in my life when I've wanted to play a contemporary millennial power fantasy. Ever. Actually, I don't want to. I want to play the opposite of that. I can tell you that's the type of game I would avoid, and God, why are game developers so fucking out of touch? Why? And there's a bunch of other stuff. I'll link this article below that I'm getting these quotes from, but there's another one that really sums up their thoughts on Saints Row. The fact they've turned their back on it. They don't want to make Saints Row games anymore. They want to change things because they believe Saints Row bad, this new direction good. They say, there are more than a few reasons why Volition chose to make Saints Row rather than Saints Row 5. Boone said that the classic series of games were very much of their time, with tastes and attitudes having moved on. And that goes to show their thought process, what they actually think about Saints Row. They believe that people don't want those games anymore. They believe tastes have moved on. They believe those games are inappropriate, I think is what they're trying to say. They want to distance themselves from them. I think they feel embarrassed. I think they feel like they don't want anything to do with those games. I absolutely adore those games. I love Saints Row 1, 2.
Wait.
I really like 3 and 4. And I feel betrayed by Volition. I really do. Especially since that first initial reveal had the graffiti on the wall. It was so exciting. Saints Row is back. And it's just a Watch Dogs 2 clone. It's really disappointing to see. It's a focus on vapid humor, on mass appeal, and on burying the past. A past which people fucking love. To say that times have changed and people have moved on is factually incorrect. Look at Grand Theft Auto 5, a game that is still edgy, a game that plays on all of the themes of the franchise's history, that returns to its roots in a lot of ways after Grand Theft Auto 4, and that game is the biggest video game of all time. The biggest entertainment product of all time. Don't tell me that tastes have changed and attitudes have moved on. That is absolute bullshit, and it's a cop-out. I also have to say that their reaction on Twitter has been pretty fucking bad. People have been voicing their concern on Twitter, and they've been very flippant with everybody. I mean, they've changed this entire game, and it's not just rebooting it in a new way, it's tearing it down and putting something else in its place. It's not like a God of War 4 after a God of War 3. That's not what this is. This is trying to appeal to the masses and betray what Saints Row is. And people are voicing that. People are concerned and people are upset.
Where am I going? I don't know where I'm going right now.
If saying hate is gonna hate, like, that's a fucking relevant meme in 2021. That's just, that's so cringe. What? Is that the kind of humor we're gonna get in this game? I mean, that is the humor we're getting in this game. Imagine if
there.
said hate is gonna hate and then did a dab. Like, that's what we're gonna get. That's this game. That's this fucking game. And with their response to, people being, okay, that's a weird thing to do, being like, we're not backing down on this game, like, fucking arrogant as shit. Maybe you should. Like, if you want to, make money. I don't know. Maybe you should make a Saints Row game. Hey, this game is going to bomb. This game is going to bomb. The dislikes on the trailer are wild. The trailer doesn't even have that many views. It's not even past 1 million. So again, it's already staying within its niche to begin with. And 24,000 likes, 50,000 dislikes. Saints Row fans are not happy with this. I think that's pretty clear. I'm really not happy with this. I'm not happy with what I've seen. Gameplay-wise, it looks fine. It looks like Saints Row. That's cool. A lot of the features in there in terms of, like, how you can choose to make your money, that sounds cool. Customization options sound interesting. That all sounds cool. The issue is with direction. You can put as much customization as you want in a game, but if the direction, the tone, and the vibe of the game isn't there,
is this a map of the island?
You're already lost. And I'm just looking at the comments for this the Saints Row, the Welcome to Santo Eliso trailer, and at the top comment is sums it all up, man. These aren't Saints, they're BuzzFeed employees. They fucking are too. Oh man. But I think that's all I have to say in this video. I'm currently working on a Saints Row retrospective, by the way. It's going out on my main channel, so I'll link my main channel down below. If you're new, like, if this video just, I don't know, fucking hits the algorithm, which it might do. I mean, that's my fucking intention with this, by the way. I mean, I am concerned, but at the same time, like, if it hits the algorithm, then, thumbs up. Man's got to eat. And also power my student loan. But if you're new and you're seeing this, then go check out my main channel. This is just my side channel where I put little discussion bits on. I'll link it down in the description. I'm working on a big Saints Row retrospective where I go back and look in depth at Saints Row 1, 2, 3, 4, and also get out of hell, even though that's a bit dodgy, and then the lead up to this and the sort of backlash there has been. I try to keep that opinions not in that about the new Saints Row. Obviously, my opinions will be in that about the original games, but I try to keep that free of talking shit about the new Saints Row, because there might be fans of that one that just want to look at the old games, and I don't want to alienate those people. That's not fair. But I wanted to make this video to actually talk about the way I.
Why are you adding this in the fucking video? Fuck me. Like, this is the type of thing that I would fucking say in the video, but then I would just like completely edit out.
They just seem to be shitting on people that are taking issue with this, because what they've done is they've named the game Saints Row, and it's not Saints Row, and they're unhappy that people aren't happy with that. They're like, they don't get it. I don't really understand. Like, they must have just been in this bubble, this fucking echo chamber, thinking, oh, this game is great, we're doing everything right, and then when they put it out into the world, they realize, oh shit, real people don't actually think like this, or talk like this, or want this. But it's interesting. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I would love to get some conversations going. I'm sure there's going to be some vitriol.
Wait, I never did finish listening to, I completely forgot, I never finished listening to Four Pillars podcast this week. Oh, I forgot. Last night I went down a rabbit hole watching a whole bunch of A&W related things. I rewatched my own fucking season ranking. I don't even think I ever finished even listening to that.
Big enough for the most epic cannonballs.
I think objectively it was the best season. I think it still has the issues of sob stories and wonky editing, but when you take that away, I think just results-wise, it's the best season of the show. I think obstacle-wise, I think there's some great course designs in this season. I really like Roulette Row as an obstacle in Stage 2, and I think that's another obstacle that we saw a lot of fails on, but the people that cleared it, I thought was a really riveting clear. Got a lot of people in Stage 3, which is always great, and had some pretty fun results there as well, with people like Ian Dory getting so close to making it to the final stage, and obviously Isaac Caldiero and Jeff Britton both clearing the third stage.
I hate that I used to yell into the mic.
They both cleared the final stage as well.
Because now I kind of do a more like
that's kind of another,
calm voice like I'm doing here. But I used to kind of more so yell into the mic, and I hate watching videos when I'm doing that.
I'm 100% sure that was an oversight by production. That they wrote that into the rules that, the person that gets the fastest time on the final stage.
Why am I saying this in the video? No wonder this fucking video is way too fucking long. It's like a 30-something minute video, right? Season ranking.
Solid season with some really great results.
Oh no, actually no, it's only 23 minutes.
At number 2, and at number 1, I'm very surprised at this, because again, like, I didn't think this would be number 1, but I just kept on thinking about it, and I just feel like I think it deserves it, and that is A&W 11, the most recent season of the show. And I think a lot of the reason why I have this at number 1 is because I feel like they're fixing a lot of the flaws. I mean, there are still sob stories in the season, but I feel like they're greatly reduced. I feel like the focus on big characters has also been reduced in favor of people that are actually doing well in the course. The addition of the Power Tower is a massive boon to this season. I think Power Tower is just a really fun aspect of the show in general, but also it changes the editing style. It makes it so they're forced to show these people that make it to the Power Tower, showing their runs, and again, making the show more focused on the actual course than these people's stories. And again, I really love that aspect of the show. We also still have the Mega Wall in effect, and I think that's still a lot of fun. I think the results from the Power Tower are really great as well. The Vegas results were really fun as well. I mean, Stage 1 seemed to be pretty brutal, even though I don't feel like they made it that much more difficult. Though I did like the modifications that they made throughout. Stage 2 was kind of a joke. I will admit that. Stage 2 is a joke. New obstacles really had almost no effect on the entire course. But Stage 3 was just so much fun. I mean, there were so many people in Stage 3, and again, it's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, fuck off. Oh, I did get it.
But it was still a lot of fun to watch. I love to watch more Stage 3 runs. And it's not even like we got like a ridiculous number of people clearing Stage 3 either. Like, we got a lot of fails there, and I feel like that was just a lot of fun. I mean, all those Cane Lane fails were really great to watch. I mean, Joe Moravsky was a big shocker there. Adam Rail failing at the end of Cane Lane was a big shocker as well. We had obviously the 2 people break out. We had Daniel Gill and Drew Dreshel both clearing Stage 3, making it to the final stage. And we had Drew being the 3rd American Ninja Warrior. I mean,
this is going to be cringy.
That's a great result for this season. I mean, Drew is someone that it was a long time coming. I mean, he's always been the top dog.
Oh no. Oh no.
Now. From the final take total victory, I think it was a very warranted victory. Mind you, again, kind of wrapped around controversy in the fact that he did need the safety pass.
Yes,
as he
only
did
that
in Stage
controversy.
1. Though I do think in a way, I think he would have been a bit more cautious if he didn't have the safety pass. So it's kind of a tough thing to really assess. But I mean, at the end of the day, he did complete all 4 stages. He did achieve total victory. I did think it sucked that Daniel Kyoto wasn't able to clear the final stage, though.
Wait, oh, fuck,
I mean,
fuck
really
that.
close, but I guess it is what it is. But yeah, I really love AEW 11. I thought results-wise, it's really great. I think editing-wise, they made massive improvements. I really love the Power Tower. I like the new Mega Wall rules. I mean, just overall, I love this season for what it is. And, you know, while I'll always look back
see
and
what I
think
did
of
wrong.
AEW's 1, 2,
I'm looking at the
3,
wrong
when I
one.
think of American Ninja Warrior, in terms of what the show
Shit.
is,
Fuck
especially
off,
nowadays,
game.
I do think AEW 11 is the peak of American Ninja Warrior. So for me, AEW 11 here is at number 1. So there we go.
I don't know if I stand by that.
Season ranking for American Ninja
Like for me personally, like I would say NW3 is my favorite. Like it's my favorite, but it's like, is it the best? Like I do think AEW 11 did made a lot of changes, though I do think now I'm kind of lower on some of the changes it made. Man, where the fuck is the Four Pillars podcast? 'Cause I'm pretty sure I didn't finish listening to Four Pillars. There we go. Yeah, I'm barely into it.
Mint Mobile can be good. It's just $15 a month. So, as Mint's new owner,
You know what, I'm like 21 minutes into a 2-hour podcast.
Dirty dog.
Dirty dog.
I know what you're doing.
fuck.
Man, I know what you're doing.
Oh
You
shit.
fucking dirty dog. What the fuck does that
You're not,
mean?
you're not getting anything past me. You're not getting anything.
Tyler knows what's
George,
happening, man.
Dirty dog.
Big Tyler, look, we've done Bud House. He knows exactly what's going down.
I know it's gone down. I know it's gone down. I know.
That's gonna be that.
I will only. I won't even dread to guess what's going down because. So you've been enjoying driving then? You've been enjoying driving about, being a big man.
It's been good. It's been good. That's basically
Have you run-
all I've been doing.
Have you run over any traffic wardens yet?
No, sadly not. I nearly did run over a
It's a
rabbit
shame.
though. Accidentally.
That would have been.
I know,
That would have been a
horrible.
massive shame.
I really didn't want to do it.
When I was in Manchester back in June, I saw a pigeon get run over by like 2 buses.
That's mad.
Like one bus ran over it and just the wheels missed it and it was just
Is that
there with
mad,
its wings
though?
up going,
Is-
shit, everything's going wrong. And then another bus comes and squashes it. And I looked at that pigeon for a good minute and went,
Poor little gamer.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. I want some roast.
So I went into the Arndale and got myself a scran.
And you crashed its bones in.
But that
and
pigeon,
just
I left that
fit it
pigeon
down
dead on
through.
the street. Fuck, it's been under a bus, man.
Yeah,
You
you
don't
know where that
even
bus has
know the
been.
caliber of people that go on those buses. You know, even I wouldn't eat its road.
Oh, fuck off anymore.
It's not
They have
good.
slimy wheels.
Yeah, slimy little vehicle that disgusting. It's because of all the crusty people that hop on that bus. Public transport in Manchester is fascinating. You will be fine,
Damn it.
but you see some
Fuck
absolute
off, game.
examples of the worst kind of people. Because you'll be there and there'll just be a cracker talking about how they hate God, and it's like, mate, nobody asked, and you'll just be sat there in the corner going, that's a funny looking Pokemon. It's just one of those.
Yeah, Northampton's
It
pretty
is.
bad for like public transport as well. Fucking people
Well,
that get
that's-
on there.
Now that you have a car, you don't have to do public
Exactly,
transport. You
I
just
don't
have to
have
not drink.
Worry about that shit. Yeah, I don't drink an awful lot anyway. To be honest, I'm not a massive fan of it.
I'm not a huge fan of drinking. Like I don't drink much alcohol, but say I picked up some CBD IPA when I was down in the Devon land, and it
Some
was
what was
alright.
that?
There's IPA with CBD in it.
Oh, CBD. I see. How's it
CBD
going?
IPA.
Does it make your muscles feel relaxed?
No, it's a gimmick. For sure, it's a gimmick, but it
Ah.
tastes okay. It's like a grassy ale.
That's amazing. Well,
Wait, so how do you do this one?
It's making your belly warm. You know,
It makes my belly warm, and
you'd be a lot
makes
warmer
me
and a lot
happy.
happier with a belly
With a
full of
Is
belly
this
full of
the
IPA.
same thing?
That is me most of the time. The nights out, Tyler's just like, I'm fucking done with this conversation.
Oh no, it's not that it hit 47, my internet died, and I just sat here pretending that it didn't, so Josh doesn't have to edit me out or anything.
That's
I just acted like I could hear you because I'm like, they'll still be talking.
That's true.
And I've just come back in and you've said that. I'm like, oh thank God, they didn't notice.
Yeah, okay. I'll take your word for it.
Is
on
that the
one.
only
I'm
difference?
definitely not just sat there like, fuck this. Does your internet drop out every hour then?
It's the
Seems
router,
like
yeah.
it.
Why?
The router fucks it, yeah.
Do you not like call up your provider
lives
and go,
down
listen,
under."
cunts? Listen, cunts, this is not
no,
on.
it's an old router. I'm gonna buy a new one soon.
Because he lives in Australia and satellites don't.
It's
reach
nothing
that
to
far.
do with Australia. It is an old router. When I was in the old place in between, so when I lived with Jared, it was
So,
the same router. It's Jared's old router. That's what we've got now. In between when I was living with David, it was fine. We had a really fucking great router. Never had.
You're living in the Stone
Now we're
Age
back
now.
on this fuck shit router that I need to get
Yeah.
rid of, and here we are. But it's fine. It's fine because you didn't even notice. You didn't even notice.
That's true.
We didn't even notice until you pointed it out, and then we did.
That's true. Now everyone
Yeah.
knows.
You want to play the long
Secrets
game with this. Keep us in the dark forever.
Excuse
me.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Well,
It's a good point.
so the conclusion, George has been enjoying driving.
I have been.
That's good.
I've been enjoying conversations with my demented grandmother. Tyler, what have you been up to? What have you been enjoying?
That's probably
I think enjoying is the right word for what I've been doing, but fair.
Yeah, I mean, I've been enjoying life in general. I guess I'm very busy with work. It's a busy period at the moment, so just long days, long hours, but it's fun. I love my job.
in lockdown.
I could... No, that was like a week of lockdown.
Oh, shit.
It was like 7 days.
Australia in lockdown.
never.
Oh no, we're fucked at the moment. Sydney and Melbourne are fucked.
How so?
They're back in full lockdown,
Ooh.
and they have been. Sydney's been in lockdown for months,
Ooh.
and the whole state of New South Wales has been in lockdown for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Because everyone's trying to go to the Sydney Opera House. They just can't handle it.
It's
Oh, shit.
it's just the Delta, but like to make it a quick COVID update, because you love that.
4 Pillars COVID.
Yeah,
baby.
so what Australia's been doing with the hotel quarantining, everything worked really well. It's great, very effective. We got to live quite a normal life other than us in lockdown. Here's the thing, the Delta variant exists now, and it is so quick for people to get that even with hotel quarantine, hotel workers would get it so quick, even with all the preventions they had in place. And because they fucked up the vaccine rollout, because they weren't stressing too much about it, because we were all open internally as a country. Now Delta's widespread in New South Wales and now Melbourne. They're all locked down, and it's not getting under control in New South Wales, whereas everyone else is sort of... We've had little stints, like we had a week of Delta, we got rid of that really quick. We had like 2 cases, and we just locked down for a week, and then it was good, and then we're back
Where
again,
is
we're
this
living our
going?
lives. But, yeah, New South Wales, Sydney are fucked, and we're just pretty much now racing against the clock to get vaccinated. We're finally getting vaccines into the country. I booked in for September. I've got my September 20-something. Yeah, so I'll get my first dose of the vaccine. Just to race against the clock, get everyone vaccinated, get life back to normal, get open up, and let me fly over to see my boys in the UK, for fuck's sake. Let me fucking rip and tear. Northern Hemisphere. Let me do
Let's
it.
on a rip and tear.
Let me fucking get up there. Let me rip and tear. What was I calling myself that podcast?
The young throbber.
George, I'm the young throbber. Let the young throbber out,
Let the young
boys.
throbber
Let him out.
throb.
Yeah, let him throb. Let him throb.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, life's good. Work every day, gym every day.
Oh, so that's the
just
Quarry.
Spending some time.
So we still need shady trees, the marsh, the jungle, and the bunker. Oh, and the puzzle house. Or treehouse, sorry. Alright, so I think what we'll do, we'll kind of do what we did last time. We'll just walk around, see what we find, and then, whatever. Okay, that's annoying. Whichever one we find first, we'll do next.
I'm living a pretty simple life at the moment. Very laser focused. And
Shoot.
you know, yeah, just being healthy. You know, George and I did bud house a couple weeks ago. That was a lot of fun. I've since flushed my bud. I'm off the bud. Yeah, you know, yeah, very, very just laser focused on work and physical activity.
Getting your bag up.
Into it. Oh, mate, I'm working on my boxing and
Shit.
just having a good time. And I'm happy again. You know, I had a rough time there for quite a number of months, and I'm still working through a lot of things. But you know, I have a lot of, you know, I believe in myself
That's the
again.
town.
Got my
It's up in
confidence
there.
back a bit. Got my mojo back a bit. Got a bit of a swagger going. The young throbber is what I'm saying. But no, I mean, like, I'm happy again. I'm doing content. I launch have the freedom to make whatever I want to make, whenever I want to make it.
Yeah, when I saw Dynamite Gaming for the first time as your name, I thought it was a full-blown existential crisis. But hey, it's good to see that there's a purpose to it.
That is actually very good.
Yeah, there's a purpose. Yeah, there's a purpose to it.
What is this?
I'm not putting any pressure on. Like, if I didn't have weeks, I'm like, fuck. I'm too like. There'll be no time much I had last week, just because I haven't had a night.
So which one is this?
It's so busy and like late.
I guess we'll figure it out next time. Probably.
I get into work at 7:38 every day. I was out about 6:30, went straight to the gym, got home, and I pre-make so many of my meals for the week because of how busy I'll be. And knowing I had a podcast, like I literally just smashed food at like 8:30. Knowing at 9 o'clock we're gonna like we're gonna have a
This is the shady trees. So I'll figure this out next episode.
I was literally sitting at my desk like, you know,
Yeah, thanks for watching.
bowl of fucking pasta.